Alright, today we're going to take a look at the Infiray Finder FH35R version 2. Very similar to the old one, but bringing in a brand new sensor with a whole new world of impressive image quality. Coming up, we take an in-depth look at the image quality. We show you how to operate it, where we actually remote mount this and we run cables back to a monitor. Some very interesting results coming up, so stay tuned. Right, so now we're going to take a look at the hardwired setup for an Infiray Finder FH35R. Now here we have the version 2 Finder, which is basically identical to the version 1, except it has a better image quality, a better sensor in it. Now the Finder would easily be the best thermal for hardwiring, as it has a dedicated HDMI output and the image quality coming out of it is superb. So here we have our power cable and our video out cable going inside. Now when running a hardwired setup, the biggest challenge is running cables. And if you do, you want to make sure that you zippy tie your cables off on the roof, so that if something yanks on it while you're driving along, it's going to yank on the light and not on your thermal. This will protect the actual integrity of the ports on the thermal. So that's the biggest thing. Now as for the cabling, well, I just chuck it out the window and roll it up when I'm done, but you could run it some other way. It's just entirely up to the user and their vehicle and so on. Now as we come into the cab here, the best thing about the Finder is information actually shows up on the screen in the correct area. It actually will move the icons into the right perspective on the screen, where a lot of hardwiring thermals will not do that. It'll have stuff half cut off. Now this is a very big screen, so it's 13 inches, so everything's blown up bigger than the actual recording itself. And it's hard to do this recording on another camera, but as you can see, we've got a kangaroo there hopping through. You can see the detail in the grass there. As you'll see, we've got the rangefinder at the bottom there. We've got a kangaroo hopping there. We can see his tail and his body. We can see it's clearly a kangaroo or a wallaby. And you can see the rangefinder there picking up at 232 meters. Now we do have different monitors that offer better quality or lesser quality. But this one's a sort of a mid-range monitor, and it does the job quite well. We can see some more kangaroos coming across there now. They're a few hundred meters out, about 300. There's another one. So they're starting to come out of the woodwork there now. Well, let's have a look to see the quality through the thermal. All right, so this is the quality through the thermal. As you can see, it's pretty comparable to what we were seeing on the monitor. So I'd have to say that the image quality on the monitor is as good or very close to what you actually see through it. It's hard to record that and replicate it through a camera, but from my own eyes, that's what I can say. So once again, taking the image quality of the grass here and that tree, and we'll go back inside. We've got kangaroos moving again out the back there. 420 meters, those kangaroos. That's pretty good. You can see that they're kangaroos when they start moving, at least. And just by their vertical shape when they stand up, you can go, okay, it's a good chance that that's a kangaroo. All right, back inside here now, we can see the quality on the grass and so on, and our kangaroos out the back there. We've got some more kangaroos coming through out the back here again. A lot of kangaroos on this place. They actually look more like wallabies the way they're hopping, but close enough. The other benefit of the hardwired setup is actually that you take out that lag. So see how I'm moving this now? It's instantaneous, there's no delay, and there's no glitching and no lagging. So you remove that problem out of it straight away. That's the best part about going hardwired. Now the cons of hardwired is obviously you've got to run cables, and 2, you can't control the device from the monitor. So you can't hardwire to a tablet, you can only hardwire to a monitor, which doesn't give you any control over the device. But what I'm going to show you next is how you can actually connect your phone via Wi-Fi to the thermal at the same time, and you're able to control the device that way. We have our cables coming out here, one for power and one for video for this monitor. Now you can either go directly to your cigarette lighter, or you can use our inverter, which allows you to plug in an AC power plug, as well as you get 4 ports on it for charging your phone or to run up to your thermal. At the moment this is charging the thermal. Probably the better way to do it is to use the Wild Game Innovations charger on the roof and plug it into the thermal to charge it, and just have your one video cable coming into the cab. But I've got to duck home now and get my other camera, because I forgot that I was going to have to record a camera with the camera, so we'll go and do that. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to use the Infiray mobile app as a remote at the same time as you're using your hardwired kit to your monitor. The best part about doing it this way is you get the best of both worlds. You get the superb quality of the image coming through the hardwired system, and you get the control of the Wi-Fi. Now we open up the Infiray Outdoor app and click Viewfinder. So what you can actually do on the app is you can video, take photos, you can change the color palette. Now as you'll see, I've changed the color palette there, and it's changed on the monitor as well. We can change the brightness and contrast, as you can see here. It's adjusting it on the monitor too. Alright, now I'm going to see if I can record this. Now if we zoom in on the phone, we zoom in on the monitor. So you basically can use your phone like a remote control. So it sort of gives you the best of both worlds. So here I am driving along one of the tracks around the property, and this is the image quality you get as you're driving around. It's a pretty bumpy road. We've got a little wallaby there hopping across in front of us. We're starting to get a bit bumpier now, a bit more speed. I'm just trying to spin it. I'm on my own at the moment, so it's quite hard to do this videography skills while we're poking around the paddock. I actually really do like this thermal. I love the hardwired systems in the sense of the big ass, wide full screen that you get. You don't get a big beautiful wide screen like this on a tablet, and this sort of image quality with how smooth it is as well. So definitely from a practical sense, hardwired is probably the way to go, particularly on the Infiray Finder, because it does have a dedicated video out port, which gives you the best image quality possible. Right, he's pretty close. I've got the thermal focused at a further distance, that's why he's not as clear. He's not real far away at all, but what I might do is I'm going to turn the rangefinder on, but you've got to turn it on the roof first. And once you turn it on up here, it'll stay on until you turn it off. Keep in mind that what I'm seeing on this screen is quite a bit better than what the video camera actually sees. So, but it's still very good. Like, look at the detail in the grass and everything. Look at this roo chilling out. Here we have some kangaroos at about 100 meters. I'm pretty sure it's a buck chasing a doe. And we've got a roo out the back there too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a buck. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know what's giving it away, but pretty sure it's a buck. What do you guys reckon? Is it a buck chasing a doe? Could be. Alright, so my verdict on the Finder is pretty simple. I think if you are a professional harvester, the simplicity of it, the image quality, and it just works. You plug it in, the rangefinder works, The image quality is amazing. It comes through to the monitor really clear and good quality. Alright, what do we have over here? A little dog. Might be a fox, eh? It's either a fox or a dog anyway. Poking on through. He's out at 127. So first up, we're going to compare the FH35R, the version 1 versus the new version 2. Now the version 2 has the 20 millikelvin sensor, and as you can see, there's a lot more detail on the version 2 image. Unfortunately, I didn't realize, but when I recorded this, the version 1 was on the cold setting and the version 2 on the warm setting. But this doesn't affect detail, it just changes the color. So you can clearly see the version 2 has much better image quality. Right, now we're going to take a look at the version 2 on its own with our dogs tied up at 100 meters, 200 meters, and we have our vehicle parked at 300 meters with dogs in the back, as well as Beck will be out there as well. Right, so you can see our first dog here moving around. The grass is reasonably high, so we do lose a little bit of definition on the lower body, but overall it's quite a good image. He's getting a bit bored out there. He wants to go catch a pig. He's not so keen on this being tied up in the middle of the paddock, but they're getting used to it, the dogs. They know that they've got a job to do. Moving out to 200 meters, we have another one of our dogs tied up out here. You can just see him there. The grass is a little bit high, cutting off a little bit of his body there, but you can see him poking up over the grass. Now as we zoom in, you can see the detail on the landscape behind him, and he's just sort of chilling out, just having a bit of a chill session he is. Now moving on, we have Beck at 200 meters now. Unfortunately for her, I didn't tie her up though, but she's doing a little dance for us and making a little love. Now we go to 300 meters. We have our vehicle parked out there, and you can see the dogs in the back of the vehicle there, and you can also see Beck sitting down to the right of the vehicle. Once you start digitally zooming in at this distance, we do seem to lose a little bit of quality. The best image quality is always on the base mag. Right, so here we have a kangaroo. Unfortunately, Infiray products don't record on-screen prompts at the moment, so I can't quite remember how far away this fella was because the rangefinder is not recorded. But by memory, this kangaroo was about 80 meters, and he's chilling out, having a bit of a munch on something in this bush here, reaching up and pulling something out and eating it. But we have black hot here. I thought I'd give you a look at the black hot. As you can see his head there and his arms having a mung on something anyway. Not sure what it is. Now he's sort of having a squat around there. He's just chilling out. Now we've got some cattle here once again. Can't quite remember how far away they were, but by memory about 120 meters, 150 meters, something like that. And we got it on black hot at the moment, and the cattle are just in the trees there. Now we've got a kangaroo, roughly about 100 odd meters, and he's just hopping around with a little fella there, trying to catch up the mummy. It's about 50 meters or so. Another kangaroo there. Fortunately, you can't always pick and choose what you find when you're out and about, so you're going to see a lot of kangaroos because there's plenty of them around. All right, now we've got a little bit of a recording of us while we're driving around spotlighting. So this is how the image comes up when you're moving around a lot. All right, this fella's pretty close. He's only about 30 meters away. And then we're just having a bit of a look around out in the paddock there further. As you'll see, the image quality further out is a bit blurry, and that's because I had it focused for closer. So I'll adjust it soon so it'll clear up stuff in the distance. I do recommend focusing your thermal to about 100 meters if you're spotlighting. So here we have two kangaroos. One's a little bit frisky and saying hello to the other one. Got a doe and a buck here, and the buck is quite excited by whatever he's chewing on there. Once again, we're driving along here and we've spotted some kangaroos just off the track. and I thought we'd swing the spotty around and just have a look at them all. As I swing it to the left, you'll see a kangaroo in the long grass here. You can just see him poking on through the grass with his heat signature coming through the top of the grass. Now we've got a fox by the looks. So this fella's out at 127 meters. You might have seen him in the other footage. Now back in town, I spotted a kangaroo in someone's backyard here, just having a feed there. And you can see the image quality is very good across the buildings, trees, and the kangaroo there. Alright, just taking another look at some footage here of our vehicle as Beck heads out to get the dog set up for our review that we did. We do this so that you can replicate it and compare it to other reviews that we've done. So basically you can play back the reviews of the other thermals we've done, and you can see the dogs at 100 meters, 200 and 300 and so on, and you can get a better indication on what thermal is best suited to you and what you think looks the best. Because at the end of the day, sometimes it does just come down to personal preference. Sometimes I think something looks better on one thermal and someone else will think the opposite. You'll see Beck there poking on through in the vehicle there. You can see the detail on the vehicle and the dog and all the trees and the grass. It's quite a good unit with good image quality. Definitely an improvement on the previous model. Right now we have just a daytime recording of a cement mixer here where I've been doing some work building a fence. I thought I'd just show you the detail on that. For some reason, don't know, thought it was cool. Something with intrinsic detail. And then we have one of our dogs once again during the day here. Just look at the detail on the animal there. Now we have our Hilux there, not very far away, only about 50 meters, and then another dog and another dog close up. So just to show you the detail that you can get from it. As for image quality, that's all I had time for. Unfortunately, I've got a shit ton of thermals to review, so we can't spend too much time on each one. But if you want my personal advice, give me a ring. I can definitely give you unbiased advice about what I think is the best thermal for you and how you want to hunt based on all the thermals that I've been using. For me, I don't care what you buy. We sell just about everything, so we just want to make sure the customer gets what is best for them. Alright, that's it for our image review. Alright, so we have the FH35R version 2 here, virtually identical to the previous model, the V1. The only real difference is what's inside, so the sensor itself and potentially processing and stuff like that. But otherwise the unit is identical, same batteries, same design, same layout. Alright, so let's take a look at what you get in the box with the new Finder FH35R V2. Alright, so you get your manual and you get a little carry bag with it. So in this bag, obviously you'll get your thermal that you can keep in here when you're out hunting as well, keep it safe. We have our charging cradle here with a wall charger. Then in our front zipper here, you have all your cables and straps. So a small HDMI cable to go to a screen. You'll need a much longer one in most cases, but your USB-C charging cable. You can plug this into your phone charger in your car or into the wall charger supplied. We have our strap for this bag, so you can wrap it over your shoulder. Then we have our little lanyard that will go onto the thermal if you want to hang the thermal around your neck. A little cleaning cloth and a spare battery. So you do get 2 batteries with it, which is quite good. I forgot to mention that they do actually have a belt strap on this bag, so you can actually put it through your belt, which is nice of them. It's a nice little bag, to be honest. Alright, that's pretty much it. That's what's in the box. But anyway, moving on. Alright, so let's take a look at the button placement. So at the front here we have our power button. Now a press and hold will turn the device on, press and hold will turn the device off. Single press will put the device in standby mode. And this also acts as a back button. So the power button is also a back button. If you're within a menu and you press the power button, it'll take you back to the previous menu or back to the main screen. And once you're back on the main screen, it becomes the standby button again with a single press. And then we have our M button here, which allows you to navigate menus. When you single press the M button, it brings up a quick access menu. At the top, you will have your zoom level, which is controlled by this button. And then at the bottom of the screen, you'll have your color palette, which you can change with this button. If you press the M button again while the quick access menu is open, it'll cycle through to a new set of options, where at the top you'll see the brightness control, which is controlled and changed with this button, with the rangefinder button. And the bottom will be the contrast options, which you can change with the capture button. And then if you press this again, it'll take you back to the main screen. Long press on the M button will open up the main menu. Then to navigate the main menu, you simply use the rangefinder button and the capture button to navigate up and down through the menus. And then a single press on the M button will allow you to make changes to the selected option. Now, if you want to go back, once again, you can press the power button, or you can press and hold the M button to close the menu down. Whenever you enter a menu that requires you to move something around, you'll use your rangefinder button and your capture button to do those movements. So these are essentially arrow buttons up and down. Now to activate the rangefinder, it's a single press on the rangefinder button. And then if you press and hold it, you can change rangefinding modes from continuous to single. To turn the rangefinder off, a single press on the power button will turn it off. Now our capture button, a single press on the capture button will take a photo. If you press and hold it, it will start a recording. To do a manual calibration on your image, you can press the capture button and the rangefinder button at the same time, and it'll do a manual calibration. Alright, so at the back here where you are looking through the device, there is an adjustment here for the screen inside, which allows you to clear it up to suit your eyes. At the front, we have our actual thermal lens, 35mm, and we have our adjustable focus here for our image to focus it at different distances. Now, one mistake try not to make is the rangefinder is directly near the lens cap here. So even with the lens not open here now, that little nodule there is covering it a little bit, and if you open your lens that way, your rangefinder is not going to work. So common mistake there. You'll realize when it happens, but if your rangefinder is not working, check that you don't have it covered by the lens. And on the side here we have our battery compartment. You pull this little lever up here, so you just turn it and then you can pull it out. Alright, so you can either charge this battery inside the thermal itself using this charging port just here, a USB-C it is, or you can take the batteries out and charge them in the supplied Infiray cradle. It'll slide in like that, and then you have your USB port here to go to a power source to charge it. So you can charge two through the cradle. Now if you look underneath, we have our USB-C for charging, which we've discussed, and the HDMI out for video to go out to a monitor if you would prefer to hardwire it. It's quite good because it's a dedicated video out, so the quality is quite good. Now as you'll see here, I've mounted a quick release to the bottom of this thermal for remote mounting. There's many different quick releases available. This one in particular I like to use just because I've got it on all my devices at the moment for testing and works quite well. But WildGame Innovations is working on a quick release that integrates with their brackets for going around your light, which I think is looking quite promising to be a good system. They may already be out by the time you see this video. But I'll remove this and we'll discuss the mounting ability of this thermal. You'll see on this particular quick release here, the bolt was too long. You can either grind this down so that it doesn't reach the bottom of the hole, or you can put something flat underneath it like a washer or something. Now you'll see underneath here, one thing I've always liked about the finders is their replaceable aluminium plate down here. Nice flat surface for the bracket to pull against, and it distributes the weight across a large area, which is really good. A lot of thermals balance the weight of your mounting on just the one little bolt hole on about 5-cent piece, because it's usually a curved device, where what I've always liked about the Finder is it's nice and flat and strong, and we've not had any issues with this bracket. Out of all the thermals we've sold, this is probably one of the most reliable ones for remote mounting. And with the new sensor, we're quite confident it's going to be a really solid unit for remote mounting. Now, one thing to keep in mind with just about all thermals, at least at the moment, is if you are charging it using this USB-C port, you want to try and do it from a charger that's around that 2 amp. Your fast chargers for your smartphones can sometimes trigger these devices to not accept charge. So if you're having trouble charging it, then potentially make sure that you're not charging it with something too high of amps. And when the device is charging, this little light here will come on to indicate that it's charging. Right, let's discuss using the unit by hand. I do really like the shape of it. Some people tell me that they don't find it as comfortable to be used by hand, but I feel like you can use this one by just one hand, and you got good placement on your power button and your navigations through your menus there. I feel like it's pretty decent, so it's a good shape for remote mounting, and I feel like it's pretty good for handheld use as well. So for me, I would have to say that this is probably one of the best all-round devices available. I don't usually say too much about my personal preferences on the thermals that I review, but this one in particular, I feel like it's a good all-rounder. It may not necessarily be the best at a particular situation, but it's going to do a good job remote mounted, good job by hand. It has a wide field of view, so it's practical for most people's uses. It's not too zoomed in and it's not too zoomed out. It sits in a middle ground, which most people will be happy with and get a lot of versatility out of it. And hopefully with this new sensor, the image quality is going to be a big step up and make it more comparable to some of the other units coming out from the other brands. That's been my main complaint with the Finder in recent times, because the sensor was starting to get quite old and the image wasn't keeping up with the latest stuff that's out. Alright, so as you know, you can't record the menus in Infiray products, so we've actually got to put a camera up to it to record it. So I've put a camera up to this now, and we're just going to run through the menu options here. Single press on the M button will open it up, and you'll see the zoom buttons at the top and the color palettes at the bottom. Another press on the M button will bring you to the next quick access menu, which is brightness at the top and contrast at the bottom. And if we press it again, it'll close down the quick access menu. Now we'll open up the quick access menu again, and to actually activate these menu options in here, like zoom, for example, at the top, you'll press the rangefinder button, single press, and you will start working your way through the zoom options, and then back to 1. Now if you press the record button, it'll cycle through the color palettes. Alright, and then if we press the M button again, it'll take us through to the brightness and contrast. Same thing, to change the top menu, the brightness, we press the rangefinder button, and it will increase the brightness of our image. And for the bottom one, press the record button to cycle through the contrast. Usually the best position is the middle setting, or number 3, and then we can cycle back out of this little menu. So that's the quick access menu. Now say you want to take a photo or do a recording, a single press on the capture button will take a photo, and if you press and hold, it will start recording, as you can see there now. Now to stop recording, press and hold the capture button again, and we're finished recording. To turn the screen off but keep the thermal on, a single press on the power button will turn that screen off, and a single press will bring it back. Now to turn the thermal off altogether, you'll press and hold, and you'll have to hold it for the full 3 seconds. If you stop before the full 3 seconds, it won't turn off. That's handy if you bump it. Now we're going to shut it down, and it's shut down. Now to turn it back on, we press and hold the power button, and now we are back in action. To activate the rangefinder, short press on the rangefinder button will turn it on. To change ranging modes, you can press and hold the ranging button to change it back and forth between the different rangefinder modes. To deactivate the rangefinder, single press on the power button. To open up the main menu, press and hold the M button until a menu pops up on the side here. Now the first option there is ultra clear mode. Now that's just adjusts the image. I prefer to have it off. A single press on it will turn it off. Then the next option is our Wi-Fi. A single press on the M button will turn it on and off. The same with all the options here. If you want to activate one or deactivate it, just single press the M button. To close the menu down, press and hold the M button until it closes down. We'll open it back up, and our next option in line is our video output. So this will turn on the video output going out of the HDMI port on this particular thermal, or out the USB-C port on the other thermals using a splitter cable. Our next option is our picture-in-picture mode. I prefer that off. Our next option is our digital compass. That'll just bring a compass up at the top of your screen. And then the option below that is a motion sensor. Most people won't use either of those. Maybe the compass would come in handy for people on foot, but I feel like it's just more clutter on the screen. Now the next option here is auto display off. I recommend leaving this off because I've seen a few people have issues where the screen will just turn off even when you're looking through it. But how it's meant to work is when you put your face up to the thermal, the screen will come on, and when you take it away, it'll go off. I personally just leave that off. Then we have our microphone on and off. And then our next option is our units. So this will be meters and yards. You can change between that. And then right at the bottom, we have an option to open up the next set of menus. So if we press M on that, we'll go through to the next option. Now the first option in the next menu is calibration. We have automatic and manual. All right, to do a manual calibration, if you have it activated, you've got to single press both the rangefinder and the record buttons at the same time. Now that'll do a manual calibration. So Infiray actually have options to show how your image is going to look. You have the option between cold and a warm look. So your cold look is your typical white look that you see on most thermals. Now I just leave it on warm. I do prefer the cold option, but I feel like on Infiray devices they work better on warm. But that could be just my preference. Alright, so the next option is the defective pixel corrector. So the next option down from pixel repair is the compass calibration. And then we have date and time, information and version details, and then restore to default. So that'll actually restore the unit to default. If you are having issues, I recommend doing a restore before you try anything else. Now at the bottom here, just an arrow to go back to the previous menu. Now if I press the power button, it'll shut that down and away we go. Now just another comment on the Wi-Fi here. You will have to turn the Wi-Fi on for your mobile or tablet to connect to it, and the password will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So pretty simple, that one, and you'll quickly be able to get into that. Now another thing, if you single press on the power button, it'll also close down any menu that you're in. So if you're in a menu and you single press on the power button, it will close it down for you. Or if you're in a sub menu, it'll go back to the previous menu. All right, well that's pretty much it for the menus. Let's move on. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to us. We aim to make reviews and guides on not only thermal and night vision products, but also other hunting equipment as well. So keep your eye out. We would also love it if you would consider making your next purchase with us. We aim to offer the best service and deals on a massive range of hunting products. And I am positive that your experience dealing with us will be absolutely amazing. We also have a Facebook group dedicated to thermal, so feel free to check that out. Over there you can discuss thermal equipment with thousands of other people as well as us. To see what we have on offer, visit our retail website or give us a call anytime. If you give us a bell, we can offer a more personalized experience to give you the right information for you to make the best decision about your purchase. One last thing, we have a website called UHunt that has smartphone and TV apps for you to watch exclusive hunting content. These are full-length movies and TV shows for you to enjoy. It's also a social network for hunters with a premium side to it. And if you do upgrade, you get some nice discounts on everything sold at Bristle Up Hunting Supplies, which is great because it basically pays for itself. All right, you absolute legends. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Get out there and get amongst it.